Whatever comes out, we'll roll.
That's it. Hello, and welcome to Change Your Thinking, Change Your Body. And today I'm very excited because I have Lori Delfosse, and she is a health consultant helping clients globally, individually, organizations, and corporations. You get around, girl. She says that her success is a reflection of her personal conviction to live a healthy, vibrant life. She has an impressive 30-year background as a registered RN, a Reiki and yoga master, and national speaker. Lori empowers clients to make better choices. Her holistic evidence-based approach incorporates advanced technology, natural products, toxin removal, exercise and nutrition to help achieve an optimal level of wellness. Beautiful. She says that it's very rewarding to assist people to live life to its fullest. Bam. And have a great quality of life. I love that. Love that message. Our most recent emphasis, this was interesting to me. Your most recent emphasis came as a result of several clients calling because of a significant increase in rapid weight gain and serious quick onset of illness. It's interesting. I can't wait to hear you talk about that. In addition to seeing weekly reports of contaminated foods and most recent questionable organics, her clients were feeling desperate to find a food line that they could count on. Interesting. So in this summit, Lori is going to share how she is helping clients combat obesity and many other health conditions with the use of quality food, and we'll talk more about that, and mentioning her other modalities. And your number one message is, yes, quality does matter. Well, welcome today to the summit, Lori. It's really great to see you and have you here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lucia. This is quite an honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm excited for you to bring your point of view to the audience that we have here today. So it's another opportunity for people to change the way they're thinking about your body and your life, and see what you can pick from this. I called it the gift basket. Yeah. So how did your journey start to understand the secret and having a happy body? A happy body. I like that. It's a happy body. How did you start that?
Well, it's really interesting because it really goes back to when I was 8 years old, when I was a child. And my grandma, we are very involved with grandma, and she's very German. So we had a lot of meat and potatoes and lots of yummy foods. So we ate, our love was through food, right? And everything was just centered around food.
Wait a minute. The Italians too, by the way. So go ahead.
A little bit different menu, but pretty much food.
Yeah.
Right?
Food is love. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but I was very observant. I was very quiet and observant child back then. And so the thing that really stuck hard with me was my grandmother was a large lady. But when she was 50 years old and I was really young, she had fallen. And because of her weight, she fell and broke her ankle, and so smashed her ankle. Oh. And it never healed right. And she had so much complications with the ankle, and then she became more sedentary, and she even became larger over the next 20 years. So it really was my promise to myself, but in a way promise to grandma too, that I was going to make sure that I was not going to allow myself to get to be that size, that if I had a fall, that I wouldn't have such great challenges physically. So, and because of that, because of her weight gain, and then she had all the medical problems that go with it, diabetes, high blood pressure, and and more obesity. Really, it just kept adding on. So difficulty breathing, so I really saw my grandmother struggle. And even though she struggled, we still had awesome food. It was yummy comfort food. And she just was such a sweet person to me. So that was really my commitment to her and myself. So
it's interesting that at such an early age, you chose to look at it that way. And you remember that you did at such an early age look at it that way and make that shift already. That's That's quite interesting to me, because that's not, typically we'll make a different meaning out of that. So it's interesting. So tell me, what's the most remarkable moment in your life?
Well, that happens to come at the end of college. And I just like to share this experience because it really was kind of like, so I was going along and just being this quiet young lady and, taking, exercising, and now I'm going to college for nursing school. And then I decided to join the college sailing club because I'm going to learn how to sail. So I did, and I got in my first lesson. I'm at the helm, and the instructor's like, well, oh, Lori, how long have you been sailing? And I'm like, well, like, this is my first time.
Yeah. What time is it? Yeah.
Oh my God, you're a natural. And so I was like, okay, all right. So, and really, it was kind of like I fell into it. But the thing that really is amazing for me, it was kind of like like a switch was flipped. My whole life transformed. And now I became like this really vibrant, alive and awake person. I can't describe it other than being at the helm kind of brought me into my self-power.
Wow.
That was just really profound. So then so that one summer, my last year of college, I just took the summer and sailed, and I biked 20 to 40 miles a day, and I ate great. And I was, that was like the height of my really just feeling strong and powerful and happy,
Yeah.
really happy about my body. So,
Like a mind, body, spirit awakening. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you love the moments that I don't even want to say trip over, but that are presented to you that are like, thank God I did this. Thank God I made this decision or this choice or whatever, and I love that you fully embraced what that was. So, so tell me how that segues into what's your mission? What is your mission in this world, would you say?
Yeah. So what comes out of that, and all the learning that I've had over the years, is really about choice. That no matter what the situation presents, even adverse ones, to always look for the silver lining, no matter what. I mean, even like, if you're on the road driving and someone cuts you off, and then it's like, oh, you could get mad, right? Or you could be like, oh, thank you, because maybe you stopped me from being in an accident somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. I always think of that.
Yeah, I'm really incorporating that. So, and also that first and foremost with everything is for me to focus and live vibrantly myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can be an example for other people, and I can share my experiences and my expertise. I bring in my nursing, and I bring in my personal experience, and also with people that the clients I've worked with, their successes and challenges, and working with them. And so the one thing that really, again, like in the beginning, in the introduction, you mentioned about my commitment to nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
So I've discovered that through all my training and experiences as a health consultant, really for us to go back to the basic, and the basic is nutrition. Nutrition is the basic of even the cell functioning. If our cells aren't functioning, then if we're not feeding our cells the nutrients, the quality nutrients they need, then our organs aren't going to function correctly. And then we start to break down in body systems. So in order for us to get any handle on improving our physical well-being and our, reversing obesity, feeling better, we have to have quality nutrition. It's an absolute must.
Yeah, so we don't get to the point where we're regretting the fact that we did that. But so this is like, to me, this is like saying, I don't care what's happening under the hood of the car. I just want to go. How do you get one to change their thinking about that? Because I found, this is what I found with my clients. Until something is, I got to pop the hood because something happened, something's not feeling right. My mind isn't on that. My mind isn't on that because it's not right in my face, right? The whole nutrition part of of why that feels great. Because I love when you've even talked about that, and maybe you can talk to this about how your body just feels right. It's like putting in, since I started with this car analogy, it's like putting in high test versus regular, and you can tell the differences, all of that. But we often are just like, I'm too busy figuring out the radio and I'm digging on that. So how would you get me to, how would you get me to start that way before I have an issue? Like, how would I look to you to do that? Tell me.
Yeah, and as many times, and for the most part, a lot of the clients that have come to me they're in such dire straits now because they've gone to medicine, they've been going to the doctor trying to figure out, how to fix their problems. And they're all on like 5 medications. They're large. They've got headaches. They've got GI things. They've had their gallbladder out. I mean,
and then all the side effects that presents.
On and on and on. So now they're just like, oh my God, I've got to do something different. So, right. So that's typically when people are finally reaching out to think differently. Now, we cannot change anyone's mind. We cannot make anyone do anything.
That's right.
However, what I can do is be an example. So I, about a month ago, I did a 10-day transformation where I did a before and after. I got into a nutrition program. I found a quality nutrition source.
Okay.
Got a nutrition program for 10 days, before and after pictures. And people are like, oh my God, she did that in 10 days. And it's completely possible. And the body's completely supportive if you have a quality food source. And that is a must. And then that's another whole challenge. And so I talk and I counsel folks on how to find quality food.
Right. But it's one step at a time. First of all, obviously I heard it was the decision to want to feed my body appropriately so that I can see, because I find that, the correlation to really quality food and what my body physiologically feels dictates the thoughts then that I have about it, right? I don't get the cravings that I would have gotten because I do recognize that. You mentioned today that you had cheese last night and you're suffering the effects of, I know everybody's going, oh God, what's wrong with cheese? I know. Damn it, don't take cheese. Yeah. But seriously, it's almost a trade-off sometimes, but if you, in terms of that, like you've recognized your body hasn't had cheese, and what cheese does to your body, and now you're suffering a side effect of that, which is a correlation. At least you remembered I had cheese and now I have a headache. You said you had a headache, right?
Yep.
So
yeah, so it really, for me, I don't want to say I know better, but sometimes, it's okay to go and try and eat some of the things. Sure. But it's really, again, it's a choice and it's a decision. I'm making a conscious decision. Yes, I'm going to have cheese. Maybe I'm going to have a consequence, but I'm willing to make that choice today. And so today I have a slight headache and it's not overpowering, but I'm like, okay, well, that's what that was. And that's where I am today. So, and I can get through it. But it's really now about being completely aware of what my body is responding to. So that's what I help people to guide them to understand that, number one, that food has a great effect on even our mood and our happiness. And then it's actually through almost like a counseling session in a way to help them get to the core. Number one, what are their goals? What are their desires and goals? And then the next part is how badly do they want it?
That's key. How bad do you want it? You think you want it bad until, I remembered working with clients I'm like, I'll do whatever it takes. And then, except this and that. And, now you want me to eat and drink some green stuff and accept all of that. And so we have to be honest with ourselves because, that in itself, even that thinking about, the choice and how I make it puts a little jam in the spoke of things, if you will, too. So I think we're both saying this as well. Take the baby steps. This isn't, you could jump in the pool. Absolutely. Right. Jump in, all in, I'm all in. Absolutely. Bring it on. Surrender. It's perfect. Or just take the baby steps. You know, the all or nothing thinking. Ugh. And I'm an all or nothing thinking person. So I'm not judging anything. So that all or not, but then it's like, how's that working for you? So if I can make if I can make a choice and then see how does this particular thing affect my body. Yeah. I remember thinking to myself, even, you know, after a meal, because it's not just over with at the end of the meal, you wash the dishes and it's good. And now I'm left with, why am I so tired? And I think, well, it's because I went on a run or I did no, it was probably all the pasta you just had without like I'll go there. But I wouldn't have gone there years ago.
Right. Right. Yeah. So, I believe people are becoming more aware. And they're, everybody, we're all getting a little bit, we're waking up. We're becoming more conscious about, there's a lot of language about consciousness and,
right.
And maybe, and also that slowing down of life, even though many of us are still kind of in that race.
Mm-hmm.
But meditation, I'm sure a lot of people have heard about meditation. And so I also work with people in that realm as well. Very simple meditations that people can do, even for 15 seconds.
Yeah, I love that offering when it's just, I have a 1 minute meditation that I'll go so that I don't make the excuse on how I don't have the time. And however, it's interesting because it's when you spend the time like that. So I've recognized that on the days that I'm able to meditate, first thing, my day is so much better. Versus when I get out of bed going, I got so much to do, I get right to it. And then it just doesn't feel right. And that's okay. Because to me, the more that I become aware on how that other doesn't work well for me and how it puts me in a different state for the day and how I present myself to people, I bring myself back to, okay, just do it for 1 minute. It's a minute, Lucia, right? And so, right, doesn't it? I mean, it helps you, right? Now you're at a process and a routine, yeah?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And you get into that.
If it's really about resetting your day or you're setting your day actually. So as you said, you take just 1 minute. You don't really even have to get out of bed to meditate.
Yeah.
You can just stay in bed, but do breathing, specifically yogic breathing, and then that can set your whole day in motion. And like you said, you'll get more done and be more productive.
Mm-hmm.
Other piece is nutrition, having quality nutrition. So those two things I think are basic to be able to really capture a sweet day, and also support you in lifestyle changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what's too important because so I've been recognizing even on the proper nutrition where it triggers my brain, because when I eat things that trigger a craving, so the craving comes, I get like a dog with a bone, where is it? And then I'm in, and then afterwards it's the remorse and the why did I go there and what did I feel? And I realized that because I wasn't eating nutritionally for my body, putting in the wrong gas, right?
Yeah,
I wasn't going anywhere. I'll say to people, like, you can fill the tank up when, you can fill your tank up to full with water.
Yeah.
But that's not going to drive the car. It needs gasoline, right? So just to use the car analogy too. So how would, because a lot of people may be looking at us going, oh, whatever, what kind of green do I have to eat, drink? What are the things I have to do? Because, you're going to take my chocolate away. You said you're taking my cheese away. Please don't take that one. I'm having my wine and cheese. But you know what? Again, baby steps. So how does one start to live vibrantly, would you say? What can you offer? I love that you've done the whole and where you're at. I admire that. I want to, that's my goal is to be Lori. And where you're at with that is truly because you've already gotten yourself on the, why would I eat that? Here's how it's not making me feel good. It's making me feel like crap. Right. And I get that. Some people will say that, like, you'll go, Peppers don't agree with me, right? People, Peppers don't agree with me. And those things. How do I just start baby steps? What would be something that, maybe if my spirit wants to, but my head is going, I just don't think that's going to be for me. Tell me what you would say to me.
Right. So
Thanks.
um,
I could go.
number one is, just recognize that, really, first of all, just give yourself a break. Okay.
Yeah.
Just be kind to yourself. And, we're all on this journey together. The one thing that I have found successful is to be able to find a mentor that I connect with that has an understanding about nutrition,
Right.
And quality nutrition. And so you're doing it in community of a mentor, but even more fun and probably more successful is if you have a girlfriend or two, or boyfriend or husband or spouse or whoever, if you have another partner or a group of people to go on that journey together, you're going to have a greater return on your success. Okay, so seek out those people that are on the same path with you, because they're the ones that are going to hold you accountable. It's just like going to the gym, right? I can go to the gym easier when I made a commitment to my friend and said, hey, are you going to go to the gym? Well, I'll go if you go. Okay, let's go, right? Where if it's just up to me, I don't feel like going to the gym.
The excuses come, yeah.
So if you're in partner with somebody, it's much more fun, and you can commiserate and you can celebrate together. So that would be my number one. Find a mentor, whether it's a consultant or a coach, or even from the summit, if you connect with anyone here. That might be a good resource for you. But find that one person that's going to help lead you to your desired outcome. And I'm telling you, yes, you do feel better when you have your nutrition and your body in control. You do. It's worth to explore and move towards that goal. I've seen so many people down the other side of the path, and it's not a friendly place.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's not.
Know your farmer. So know your farmer. Know where you're getting your food from. So, going to the regular grocery store, you may not know the farmer. To farmers markets, at least you can ask the farmer or the staff that work with the farms, like, well, do you use pesticides? Do you spray? Do you use organic seeds? What do you do to improve the soil quality? Those kinds of questions you can ask your farmer. And there is farms and farmers locally that are growing. It just makes you have to plan a little bit different than just zipping by the grocery store and buying a box of Cheetos. So know your farmer. So those are the two things. Is find people to do this with, and know your farmer.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that a lot. It's interesting about the quality of the food. So I do appreciate the fact that you pointing people to really understand that and know what needs to happen for you to take that one step. Because I think paying attention to then when you start to eat properly, pay attention, take note of how do you truly feel? Because oftentimes we don't, I know I didn't in the beginning. I wasn't paying attention to the whole correlation of things. And then it becomes exciting. Like, that's why you're at the place now that when you eat cheese the night before and you have a headache, you go, am I willing to do that? Or do I want to forego that? And at least you understand it. And that's half the battle too. Tell us, give us a little insight onto your free gift that you have for everybody.
Yeah, so I have a free gift for every attendant, a secret to happy. So,
ooh, how intriguing.
It's a secret, so I can't tell you yet. I'll tell you once we have the summit.
Yeah, once we have the summit, and I'll put all those details in there. But I thank you so much for the free gift. And this was nice. I think the parts of it, because like you said, you can't jam down anybody's throat how to eat, what to eat, and all of that. You can make the choice. Ultimately, this becomes a decision. It becomes the decision on, I personally, I don't want to have regrets at the end of the rainbow here. I really don't. I feel that, I feel very proud of myself for making those choices back in the day. And so to continue to make those choices and to make one step forward to, you know, where I can progress and improve on me, you know, that's what we're offering here. And thank you, because I do agree also that everyone needs accountability. I know I work best with that. I know I work best with people who know. Everybody knows a little something. Everybody in this world knows a little something, and everybody's got their own expertise at a little something. We always kind of, I don't know, we can't possibly know all of that. That's what's great about us being a community and coming together. And I was very happy to bring this summit to everybody, to have speakers like you, you know, add your value, which I completely appreciate. So I have to thank you today for that. And I thank everybody for joining us today. And I know there's more, and you'll be able to listen to this again. So if there were some things that piqued your curiosity, I definitely want you to take some notes and listen again and ask yourself, what's one thing I can do differently today after meeting this Lori? Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, loves. Thank you so much. And there'll be more. So stay tuned. Thanks, Lori.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.